I know what you're thinking. Didn't you just review the Kobra Blitzer like a month or two ago? Well, yes. Yes, I did. But in that short period of time, Falendorn, the mastermind behind all of Kobra VR's gunstocks, has been working to make the Blitzer even better. And there's been some changes made to the stock, so I'm here to update you on what the Blitzer is looking like now and how it's functioning. If you saw my original Blitzer video, you may remember there was a part where I talked about losing tracking when I held the stock up really high and tight. My solution to that problem was to adjust the gunstock calibration in the games I was playing, where I then held the stock a little bit lower, which stopped the stock from obscuring my front hand and then lose tracking. Well, apparently Falendorn saw this as a challenge, so he set out to see if he could modify the design of the Blitzer a little more and eliminate this problem. This is one of the things I really admire about Falendorn. He's not satisfied until the performance of his gun stocks is absolutely perfect. In just the past few years I've been working with Kobra VR, he's made countless tweaks and upgrades to his stocks in an effort to make them function as close to perfect as possible. Every single time, you guys have ended up getting an even better version than the one that he sends me for review. So what exactly has changed? Well, let's take a look and see. Right off the bat, you can see the shoulder stock has been repositioned, where it's now more in line with the rest of the stock. This change required the adjustment screw for the front section to then be moved to the underside here. I do find this change makes adjusting the length of the front section a little more difficult, since you don't have as much room for your hands to move around in. It's not a super big deal, but it is something that I felt was worth mentioning. When it comes to mounting your controller to the stock, Falendorn took this opportunity to make it one step easier by removing one of the latches and positioning the remaining one right here. While it was never difficult to mount the Quest 3's controller to the Blitzer, this change has made it even quicker and easier. I was a little concerned with just how secure the controller would be with only one latch holding it in place, but after spending at least a dozen hours with the new Blitzer, I'm happy to say the single latch does the job just fine. The rear stock has remained the same. You can adjust the length of the stock by loosening this thumb screw here and then tightening it back down at your desired length. And the cheek rest is adjusted using this thumb screw just as before. One thing you may have noticed about the cheek rest is it isn't exactly in alignment with the shoulder stock. You'll notice the aluminum strap for the shoulder stock comes into the controller dock at a bit of an angle. The cheek rest, however, is straight in line with the controllers. Talking with Falendorn about this, he chose to do this so when you shoulder your rifle, you feel the cheek rest against your cheek in such a way that it helps keep your hands in proper alignment so you aim the gun straight out in front of you in game. Without a cheek rest, or if it were in line with the shoulder stock, you'd tend to pull the stock to the left more rather than aiming straight ahead, because you wouldn't feel the stock on your cheek until it was pulled over that little bit further. Other than the repositioning of the shoulder stock, the most notable change to the Blitzer is this magnetic grab handle. On the original Blitzer, the grab handle was fixed, so in order to swap to the front magnetic dock that also comes with the Blitzer, you had to use a number 2 hex driver of some kind to loosen the screw securing it in place, and then swap on the magnetic dock. This new magnetic grab removes the need to use any tools to make this change. You simply tip the grab handle in any direction to remove it, and then attach the magnetic controller dock. Easy peasy. Now, I have long been a fan of Kobra VR's grab handle. I feel it makes for the most intuitive and most realistic experience when using a rifle in VR. It's super fast to disengage your offhand when reloading, or to throw grenades, or use other equipment, and equally as fast when you want to re-engage with your rifle. You just reach up and grab it. Yes, it does take a little time to build the muscle memory needed to make this as fast and smooth as possible, but it's something you can pretty much perfect in a single play session. As much as I love Kobra VR's grab handle, it does have a couple glaring shortcomings. The first of which becomes very apparent when using pump action shotguns. You have to let go of the grab handle, then repress the grab button on your controller to grab the front of the shotgun in game, and then you can finally pump it to cycle in the next shell. not exactly the smoothest experience. The other problem is with bolt-action sniper rifles. With the majority of people being right-handed, sniper rifles are designed with the bolt on the right side, so you can easily cycle the bolt with your dominant hand. Well, since most of Kobra VR's gun stocks have the right controller securely attached to the stock, you can't easily use your right hand to perform this action. You again have to let go of the stock with your left hand, then re-grab the front of your sniper rifle in-game, and then cycle the bolt. Just like it is with pump-action shotguns, this is just too slow and clunky. So rather than use my right hand to cycle a bolt, I would just turn the rifle on its side like this, and use my left hand, as that is much faster. Well, making the front grab handle magnetic solves both of these problems. When it comes to using pump-action shotguns, you can simply tilt the front grab up and then let the magnets pull your controller back into place. This is absolutely devastating to your opponents in close quarter scenarios, as you can empty your shotgun on them in a matter of seconds. As for bolt-action snipers, you can maintain your hold on the grab handle, disconnect the rest of the stock, cycle the bolt, and then reattach. This does, of course, take some practice to get good at, but one session on the shooting range in your game of choice should be all you need. Now, there is the possibility of dropping the grab handle while performing either of these actions, so you do need to make sure you keep hold of it. But in the dozen or so hours of using this new version of the Blitzer, I've only dropped the grab handle once. So while this was a worry of mine in the beginning, in practice, I've found it not to be of too much concern. Of course, if you prefer the magnetic front dock to the grab handle, that does still come with the Blitzer, so you can use that instead if you like. When it comes to performance, the refreshed Blitzer is exactly as expected. Falendorn doesn't put a stock up for sale unless it performs flawlessly. I felt the original design of the Blitzer performed great, but with the changes he's made, it now performs even better. The tracking loss I experienced before when holding the Blitzer up high and tight and I had to adjust my gun stock calibration in-game to fix is now gone. This refreshed design no longer blocks the front controller from view of the Quest 3 headset, so even when pulling the stock up nice and high to aim down sights, tracking is perfect. For those who may have already purchased a Blitzer and would like to have these upgrades, Kobra VR says they're happy to send you the updated parts for only the cost of shipping. You'll just need to reach out to them on Twitter or via email to arrange to have them sent to you. For any of you who are watching this and haven't seen my full review of the Blitzer, then you may want to watch it, as it talks about some things I'm not going to touch on in this video that are still relevant to this new version. I've linked that video in the cards up top here and in the video description, so you can check it out. Also, if you're interested in buying a Blitzer gun stock for your Quest 3, I've linked Kobra VR's Etsy store in the video description as well to make it easy for you to find. No, I do not earn any money by referring people to their store, nor do I make any money when people buy a gun stock from Kobra VR. I just feel that they make the best VR gun stocks in the world, and I want people to at least take a look at what Kobra VR has to offer. Subscribe!